Hello, I'm Clementine. Welcome to the Zepparella Learning Channel. This is my third video in my meditation series on meditations for drummers. In the previous video, I showed you basic mindfulness, basic attention to breath. And in this video, we're going to expand that a little bit. So go ahead and make yourself real comfortable. Again, sitting, lying, however you've decided is best for you to meditate and stay alert, stay awake, unless your goal is to sleep. And just arrive where you are. And just feel where you're being supported, whether it's by the floor, or a chair, or a couch, or a bed. Just feel the points of contact on the body. Take a breath and just really become aware of that support. We are supported in our position here. And now let's bring our attention to the breath. Narrowing the attention kind of like a spotlight. If we're having a hard time finding the breath, just take a nice deep breath in. Feel that breath coming in the nose and breathe out nice and strong. Feel that breath coming out on the upper lip. Just aware of the breath, aware of the sensation. Not trying to change the breath now, just observing. How are we being breathed now? And now see if you can narrow your focus even a little bit more on the breath. Becoming purely aware of the sensation around the nose. Maybe there's a tickle. Maybe there's an itchiness. Maybe it's a temperature change in and out. Maybe it feels soft. Maybe it feels cool. What's it like to observe without trying to change it? Just observing. Now again, we may notice that our mind is trying to interfere, that river of thought that's endlessly flowing. I always see it as a river rushing above me, all those thoughts. With every breath, I take a breath and just float beneath that surface, bringing that spotlight of attention back to the breath. Maybe I get pulled along the river into the future, into the past, into the big to-do list in the sky we all carry with us. And when that happens, I kindly, gently unhook, come back to the breath, come back to viewing my breath. There's almost a sense of curiosity. What does breath feel like coming in? What does it feel like coming out? What is the sensation? And what's it like to observe sensation without changing anything about it? And we zoom in even farther. What is it like to just be with this one breath in, and then it goes. And this breath out, gone. All of the facts of breath. Breath comes in, it tickles or tingles or itches or is warm or cool. Facts of the out-breath. Nothing to do to change it. Narrowing our attention further and further until we're really looking right at the sensation of breath on the tip of the nose. One point of attention there. So our mind may wander. We keep bringing it back. Keep training it like a monkey, like a puppy. Sensation on the tip of the nose, sensation of breath. And now with this spotlight of attention, that front attention, the attention of observing, of seeing, with that attention, focused there, see if you can become aware of another kind of attention, another awareness, more diffused, more open, maybe wider. That awareness of the rest of the body. Maybe it feels like it's behind that front attention that is so busily observing that sensation of breath. Is there another awareness that's happening at the same time? We can keep that front focus on the breath, but we can become also at the same time aware of all of the space in the body. Space in the head, behind the eyes, behind the nose, between the ears and down into the throat, into the neck. All of that wide open space that opens out into that wide expanse of chest. Feeling the awareness here, being aware of that space, aware of the arms resting, aware of the fingers, the space in the fingers. Aware of the chest around the heart, the pool of the heart, and that wide space around it. Wide space down between the rib cage into the belly, into the low belly, and all that space in the torso, space between the front of the body and the back, space between the belly button and the spine, space between the sides of the body. Keeping our front attention on that breath. Just observe that sensation for a minute. Just zoom in again to sensation of breath on the nose. And then again, falling into that wider awareness of the body, the legs, the hips, all the space in the legs, all the way down through the knees, the shins, the ankles, to the tips of the toes, space in the toes. And now staying in this wider awareness, just being aware of all of the space that makes us up. Come back to that breath. Come back to that attention. And see if you can bring that spotlight up over the bridge of the nose, up to that third eye area, right between the eyes, right in the center of the forehead. And now take a breath and just fall behind that space into that wide open space of the head. And just falling down through the body, through our awareness, through all the space, until that pinpoint attention has just faded into this wider awareness. A thought may come through, and notice that no longer does it attach itself. Instead, it seems to just float through. Tomorrow, 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 and it falls away like an echo. Now we're aware of the breath, but we're aware of the breath moving all the way through all the space in the body when we breathe. All of the rising and falling, the filling and emptying. Into this wide awareness, maybe a sound in your environment moves through. And notice how in this awareness, nothing really seems to change no matter what the distraction. Is there something here that feels like it's very still? Just drifting awareness from top to bottom. Is there some part of this awareness that feels unchanging, open, as if nothing could disturb it? observe some thought come through, and there's a twinge that happens in the body, some feeling, some emotion. Maybe it's a feeling of trying to do, a feeling of failing somehow, a feeling of frustration or anxiety. No matter what rises, can we just sit and allow it? Allow what rises the same way that we allowed that sensation of breath to do its thing. We allowed for the tingling, the itchiness, the warm, cool. And here in this awareness, we allow for sound, for feeling, for sensation, for thought, for emotion. And we just fall into that which never changes, which is still, quiet. What would it be like to live from this energy, from this place? What would it be like to allow what rises in life to rise, stay for some time, and then go? Just a thought. So now let's take a nice breath and just begin to come back into our body. Maybe wiggle around a little when you feel like it. Wiggle the fingers and the toes and maybe move the head a little. Staying with this stillness as long as we can. Oops. Open your eyes when you're ready. Come into the room. And it is possible to live a lot of life from that place. It seems fathomable. It did for me when I started out this way. But this awareness, this is where the flow of life happens. And we can find things like joy there too. So thank you for watching. Lots of love.